Hola, estoy aquí con Osier, el creador de NAS, y creo que más allá del empresario exitoso, hay una persona con un corazón enorme y con muchísimo que aportarnos para tener una vida feliz, plena, con mucha valentía. Creo que en su historia personal hay estas decisiones difíciles y ustedes saben que en Valentinamente Feliz tratamos de normalizar la adversidad como parte de la vida. Así que vamos a hacerle algunas preguntas, ¿ok? Todas las personas que ven en español van a ver aquí los subtítulos en inglés y si no pueden ponerle a los subtítulos en YouTube, ¿ok? So thanks for being here.
Thank you for being here.
I'm so happy to meet you and have this time
Likewise.
to share with you. Something that we try to do in Valentinamente Feliz is to normalize adversity, tough decisions, being brave. Like, happiness and flourishing and living a fulfilling life is not something that comes out from nowhere.
Yes.
Right? It's
Yes.
something you need to build.
Yes.
So, on your personal experience, how this has been?
Well, I became happy when I found my life's purpose.
Okay.
And I think people become happy when they do that. So I realized my life's purpose is not to code, but it's to bring people together. And when I started making videos about people and meeting people like you and like you and like you, that made me happy.
Okay.
So I love meeting people. And yeah, so that's my purpose.
Okay. Do you think the purpose is something you find or something you build and define?
That's a good question. I think it's something you probably build and define. I don't think if you asked me 10, 20 years ago when I was a kid, I wouldn't say this is my purpose.
Okay.
I built this purpose and I said, I believe it. Also, my purpose could change in 20 years. It could be
Okay.
something else. So I think purpose is like good for 10-year chunks.
I love that.
Yeah, it's not forever.
And in your personal experience, do you go and review the purpose
Yes.
intentionally or
Yes,
not?
Yes. It's very
How is
important
that
to
process?
understand the why.
Okay.
So far, the purpose hasn't changed in the last 8 years, but it may change in another 5, you know? And so, you know, depending on the company you build. Like my purpose now with the NAS.io company we're building is to help people make a living, to help you make money from the things you love. And we call that a business. Now, my purpose is that. So once this is done and the company is big enough, then my purpose is something else.
Okay. I love that because instead of feeling purpose as a burden, you know?
Yeah.
And stick to it.
It's a
and
chapter.
Yeah, and maybe it's a direction.
Yes.
As far as you try to help people find a way and flourish, you can find many projects, many activities, different
Yes.
areas, arenas.
Totally agree.
I love that. And tell us about, because I really like this part about a person that doesn't really need huge education, can build a business and change his life.
100%. Every single person watching this should experiment with a side income, should experiment with a side business, because you never know where that goes. You should always try something on the side as a business. And now with AI, you can actually build a business because you have all the knowledge of humanity in your pockets. And that's really the big idea.
I love that because I feel that, I mean, if you have like a normal job, you spend a third of your day in the job, right?
You still have 2/3.
And you don't like it, imagine, it's like you're wasting a
1/3
third of your life
Correct.
with people you don't like, doing something
Correct.
you don't like.
Correct.
So I think I really like this part of side business because it also, I don't think it's a good idea to lose or
Yes.
leave everything and then start looking, right?
Yeah.
Like,
For sure. For example, that's why we made the cost of NAS.io, which is the platform for business, it's $1 a day. So the cost of trying a side business is $1 a day. That's it.
Okay.
No more than that. Nothing too crazy. I want it to be as low as possible to make it affordable to, like, maybe I'll try a side business. Why not? Let's see if I can make $10 online. And if you can make $10 online by hosting a dinner for your friends, then you have started your journey of an entrepreneur.
I love that Because
Thank you. I love that when you love that.
yeah, I love it because I think it's very hard for people to give permission to experiment.
Yes.
Many times we are the ones that say no to ourselves.
Yes, exactly.
Instead of going out and say, okay, let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. It should be so cheap to experiment. I'm not saying go build a restaurant and try 10 different restaurants. No one has the money for that. But you can try with small coaching. Teach somebody something you know. I want to teach you how to do magic cards. Try that, offer that on the internet. See what happens. A lot of your friends want to buy from you.
I love that because you lower the cost
Yeah, exactly.
and the risk goes away.
The risk goes away.
Yeah.
When the cost of a business is $100, then you're going to try 100 businesses.
I love that. What has been the hardest adversity you have faced in your life and how you did it, but today you recognize it was necessary, so you are the person you are today? You
Probably.
can breathe. You can breathe.
I knew this. I tried to decide which route to take this.
Which one I'm gonna pick?
Yeah, which one will get me the most hate?
Okay.
I'll do the second route.
Okay.
I think the hardest thing has been to feel equal. For the majority of my life, I did not feel equal. You know, as a Muslim guy in Israel, I didn't feel equal. As a guy in New York on dating apps, I did not feel equal. They were not swiping right. As a middle child, I did not feel equal. So I think the hardest thing I've achieved is to feel equal.
Okay. And how have you dealt with it?
By putting work above everything else. You know, by making work the most important thing in my life, it has made me actually a happier person. And I don't like this idea of saying work is bad. Work is great.
Yeah, it brings purpose.
Yeah, work is
It's
awesome.
food for the soul.
Yeah.
But what is the space of self-work in this definition of work?
Well, I think to be able to create something of value brings value to yourself, to your self-worth. A lot of people watching this probably don't have a lot of self-value or self-worth. And when you create something valuable to others, you will start to feel like you are valuable yourself.
Yeah, you move from being in need to being needed.
Yeah, everybody loves to be needed.
I love that. And I was going to ask you a question.
Did you struggle with that?
What?
Did you struggle with that?
Yes, for sure.
Feeling equal?
Yeah, for sure. Because I moved to Leon from Mexico City.
I know Leon, very small town.
Yeah, and I was the outsider that came from the city.
I see.
She's blonde and she has blue eyes.
Oh no.
And she's called Valentina, which is a horrible name by then.
Why?
I don't know. I was the only one Valentina
It's a great name.
by then. I like it. I love it. And actually in Spanish, it's related to bravery. And I think that's a trait that I feel proud of,
Amazing.
being like developed from a long time. And definitely is like a key attribute that I've been strengthening to be the person who I am today. How did you reframe that story? Because I'm convinced that we are not the result of what happened to us. We are the result of the stories we talk ourselves from what happened to us.
I agree.
So this is a story you told yourself about being left out.
Yes.
How have you reframed it? Or have you haven't? That's the
in the process. Being written.
Okay.
Written and rewritten.
Rewritten.
So I need 2 more years. And I'll give you an answer.
Love it. What are the tough decisions that you've made in your life to be who you are today? You know, because something that I don't like is that people believes that a fulfilling life or being happy comes from
Naturally, yeah.
spontaneous generation, you know, like comes from out
That's
of
a great
nowhere.
question.
So
The hardest thing I did in my life to become where I am today is to erase my pain and start again. To erase my pain and start again. You know, everybody's born with pain, and we put it on our forehead. My pain is that I am from a small town. My pain is that I'm a woman. My pain is that I'm an Arab in Israel. And everybody like has this pain, feeling like I'm not equal. But I'm like, you know what? Let me erase this. I started from zero. Doesn't matter if I'm a woman or man, short or tall, whatever it is, I'm going to work hard.
What pushed you to do that?
Well, I just saw a lot of people around me wanting me to keep the pain, to be the victim. You must be the victim. This is a very special thing in Israel and Palestine. You must be the victim. It feels good to be the victim. And when I said, look, I don't want to be a victim, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I don't care about the past. Just saying I don't care about the past is monumental.
Yes.
Monumental.
Yes, because somehow many people can perceive it as a betrayal, right?
Yes. Well, exactly. They want the past and the pain on your forehead because
To
their
belong.
pain, to belong. But you should be the first one that tells your community or your gender or your whatever that I don't want this pain. I don't need to be born with it.
I love it. And thank you. And
Thank
thank
you.
you for that message from the heart, because I think in trying times what we need is inspiration
Yeah.
and honesty.
Yeah.
You know, because attractive lies are everywhere,
Attractive lies. I like that term.
right?
Attractive lies.
But uncomfortable truths,
Uncomfortable truth.
Are
Ugly
not-
truths.
yeah, are not that common.
Not that common. But you know, the uglier the truth, the more beautiful it becomes for some reason, because it took so much effort to say it. You're like, oh, you appreciate it. Oh, I appreciate the honesty. Even though I don't like what you
Yes.
said, but I appreciate the honesty.
And that's what really brings connection, like
Yes.
this shared humanity,
Yes.
right? Because I think the main things are the same in your story and my story. Even the context are different.
Yes.
But like the main elements are the same.
Totally.
And we share that humanity.
Totally.
So what would be the last thing that you would like to tell a person that doesn't find the way, is confused, has the pain on his forehead?
Build something out of nothing. It could be anything. It could be a flower shop. It could be a bakery. It could be a digital business. It could be a social media thing. It could be whatever, but it could be a baby. Build something out of nothing. And I think that'll give you a lot of value and self-worth.
Action.
A lot of action, yeah.
I love that idea, because for transformation, action is more important than information or motivation.
Totally.
You know, like even you're not motivated, if you do it, there's a result.
There's
it's
a
something
result.
different.
Totally.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This was so fun.
It was so nice to seeing and touching the person behind that big idea and business that is
Yeah.
bringing opportunities worldwide to many people, because I think this is what connects us.
Yes, I agree. Thank you for listening
you.
and watching.
Thank you.
Thank you. I guess you're a hugger.
Yeah, for sure. Bye.
Bye-bye.